Hello beautiful people on the internet. Today we're going to take a look at a spicy game that we played a couple of days ago. And we are playing Yadak and we are playing against Aquarion on a 256 continents map, and it turned out to be a very interesting game. If you like this kind of content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons because it really helps me out. And yeah, that's basically it. Let's get right into this game. So our opponent goes first with a lighthouse. They get organization on turn 0, which is usually not advisable. And it's interesting choice here. These amphibians are not too great on the land, so they can only move one tau. Preferably, if you are playing Aquarion, you want to spawn next to the water, which is more likely, and then you want to go from there, because you can quickly expand with these amphibians. But this is also okay, they have quite a decent spawn with the lighthouse. Now going to us, we are playing Yadak, and somebody requested an opening video. Maybe I'm going to make that. Don't really know whether or not that's going to work. Polytopia did a very good job at making a complete video about their strengths and weaknesses and strategy, so I don't really feel like making that. It doesn't really make sense to me why I should do that. So looking at that, we do go for quite a standard opening, which is quite expansionist, you could say, going for a second warrior and a road, and we are getting very unlucky because there's no village over here, and that really ruined my fun on turn 0, and it really shows. Our opponent here does find a village, and they do get to upgrade their city on turn 1, which is incredible for Aquarion, because, well, Aquarion is really not the greatest in terms of economy. So yeah, they are really lucky to get that kind of spawn. Their weird choice did work out with that. So yes, they are definitely in the lead at this point. We do find our village. Oh, whoa, 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 not so fast. Where is my turn? We do find one village now. It's not in the greatest position. We can link it up if we want to, but it's really dependent on whether or not there's another village. And come on, dude. And there is a village, but it's not in the spot we wanted to. So if you don't know, there's this opener strategy, which basically is the triple road strategy. You really want to connect your villages, and it's going to look like this. If there was a village over here on the spot the warriors had, then you can connect the villages here, upgrade your capital, and on turn 5 I believe you can have, if you get organization, you can have like an economy that's around 10 stars per turn, which is not too shabby when playing Yadak at this point. So that's incredibly interesting. But you have to get very lucky, and I can't really do that, unfortunately. Opponents, yep, they train another warrior. Don't see much use for that at this point, but maybe they are in the right to just try and expand, because they just want to do that. Understandable. Yep. There we get it. Why are these turns going so fast? Don't like that. Here we can upgrade one of our cities. Could possibly get an explorer over here with the chance that it just walks into all of this water, and we don't want to gamble for that. So instead, I just go for the capital. And yeah, it's we are getting somewhere, you know. The game is starting. They find 2 more villages, upgrade their capital, and let's look at their technologies. They have a hunting organization and riding, and they are doing very well on the economy front, which is incredibly impressive for Aquarion, and I did not expect that. I also didn't completely know what tribe we were against. I was guessing that it was Umaji, but I am incredibly glad that I got to play against this Aquarion opponent, because I haven't played against them in a very long time. Alright, so let's upgrade that city, that's free. And then we upgrade that, and we go for a workshop. Should have probably gone with the explorer, even though we are definitely in the stage where we could meet our opponent already. As you can see, that really just happened. We do pull out quite a clever trick, because when I was playing this game, it was a live game, so don't blame me for bad unit placements. We clicked on this unit here, and we saw that it was moving this way, and we could possibly kill it. There you go. That's what makes this game so lovely. You can sometimes pull out little tricks. Look at the amount of units, though. We are losing that game, which is to be expected when playing against Aquarion. They are a very militaristic tribe, and that is not really my preferred style of play. So maybe could have done something better with that, but I think we're still doing fine. So we upgrade that city here, get a workshop. They find 2 ruins over there, which is very lucky, and they have a whole bunch of stars. Unfortunately for them, they can't get this village back because of our incredibly slick moves. They do get to upgrade that city. They pick an explorer, which goes kind of the right way. They see our capital even, which is a big oof. And they have farming. Ooh. How do they do it? They are incredibly lucky, as well as just getting the right choices. And that's one thing that makes this game so great, is sometimes you you can get lucky, or you can just make some choices that in the end somehow work out, and that's just great. I really like that about the game. It's not all skill. There's also just some luck involved. Yeah, we decide not to contest this village at the moment because I am not certain, because there's water here. They are in the lead to get that, and I just didn't want to bother with trying to get that, so we leave it for now, even though we definitely would have been able to keep it. And that was just a gamble that I took. I'm trying to get better at doing stuff like that, but in this case it would have totally been fine to try to get that, because there was just a whole big continent over here. Right, you get free diving, and that's where the scary part begins. Also, look at this economy once again. They are beating us on the economy front, even though we are playing Yadak, which is known for being very good at building up an economy. Even with the roads nerf, they're still quite good at that. We get hunting. Yep, just upgrade some of that city. I was also trying to calculate this quickly. We can upgrade this city to a level 3, which would give us the resources, which would be nice. We can connect with the road. And what I was doing here is trying to keep our opponents from taking that village. With 1 or 2 roads, I could just unsiege anything that was going to step on here at this moment. So that was a choice that I made, and I don't know whether or not that was the correct choice, but I think it turned out to be okay. Then you get some stars, and wow, Aquarion just popping off like this, I have not seen that in an incredibly long time. And I was getting very afraid of what this tribe can do in the late game. Because if you didn't know this already, Aquarion and Polaris are the strongest late game tribes, definitely with a water rich map. So I was incredibly afraid of the terrible things that could happen. Luckily though, we are somewhat connected on the land with Aquarion, which gives us a little bit of breathing space, because that's what our hope is going to rely on. Get climbing, just a strategic point to get onto those ruins. 2 ruins are definitely worth it to get climbing for. They get population, and here the absolute onslaught of amphibians and tridentians starts, and that's just one of the scariest armies that you will ever get to face in this game. Is a whole bunch of these little fellas with their pointy spears just ruining your day, and you'll get to see how that works. We get stars, luckily, and some population as well, so we are quite even on getting stuff from the ruins. Get some cities, we upgrade that capital of ours. We upgrade that other city, we get some resources, I believe. Yep. And here my plan around this turn was try to bounce back every time and just keep pushing them to attack us while we try to build up some kind of army to battle them on the land and not on the water specifically. Maybe make some kind of distraction with some ports, but really focus on the land, because land units are just way more affordable, and on the water we are just going to lose because tridentians and amphibians are just way more efficient, I would like to say, because a 3-star amphibian can beat up an explorer for 5 stars, even more, because, well, that's just how that game works. And it really tries to tackle your intelligence with planning against that. So long-term plan, distract a little bit on the water, but really try to punch in since we are connected on the land. Even maybe make use of some bridge action. Here they go. And this is what I meant with try to punch them back, is just unsiege anything that they are sieging. And yeah, that's just something that I sometimes try to do. Make a weird little plan and try to follow it. 19 stars per turn against 17 stars per turn. Start linking up our cities, while also making some moves. Get onto that village. We even get to punch the Tridentian. And we get to pop a giant. As well as upgrade that city, get an explorer, see what's going on over there. We see that all of their cities are just empty, which gives me some hope. And then there the Tridentian onslaught starts again. Strategy, sure. Upgrade that city or something. 20 stars per turn, 20 stars per turn. Lovely. Equal. And we are just getting into the game. Dum. Alright, let's continue. Upgrade the cities. Capture the cities. Get all those road connections going. Work on that economy. That's the plan. And try to kick them off while whittling down some of their units sometimes. Here they go with the resources again. That's usually the right choice. And yeah, you can see that their plan here was to try and keep off any attempts at capturing their cities, just like we are doing, but they try to push in from the water instead of from the land, so we get like a little yin-yang cycle of attacks and defense, which is one thing that is incredibly interesting about this game. And this game in particular is that we both have quite the same strategy, but that's the inverseness of it is how we are trying to push from the land and they are pushing from the sea, which is very interesting to me. Here we can punch them a little. We get sailing for the distraction I was talking about, because we can't just let them do their thing and maybe there's a whole bunch of starfish and we can claim some of them, because we don't know how far they are at that point. Also, they have all the vision they need on us, which I was very unaware of. Yep, here the value of Aquarion comes in. Like I said you before, the value of Aquarion is in the effectiveness and efficiency of their units. Just like Polaris, like how a rider with Polarism in that case can just be better than any other melee unit. In this case, the Tridentians are just so incredibly efficient at hitting something, then retreating out of the range, definitely with these defenders here, so that they can't get hit. And that's just so much value that it's very hard to battle that, especially when there's like a little stalemate in the economy going on. So that's incredible. They finally managed to get rid of that hanging population. We get Nav, because why not? We see a ruin. We see the stars. We see another starfish here. They nearly kill our giant. They get onto a village that was located here. We get the starfish and we get the ruin. We see the second lighthouse here, which allows us to get a giant. That was just some smart movement. Well, I say smart, but it's just movement. And I believe it is... No, not this turn yet. Get the Port Grove. Just for fun. Yep. As you can see, they're just spearing us to death. And on the water here, they are definitely going to build up some kind of army. They even get the crab. Mr. Krabs! Get to see some of their units. We get Free Spirit and Chivalry. This was the turn that I decided. If we are to fight Aquarion on the land, or at least pressure their terrain as much as possible, how would we get as much value out of our units as possible? Well, first of all, we can disassemble any units that we don't need. So that makes Free Spirit. I know it's very unusual to use that, but in this case it's definitely worth it. Maybe even get this giant gone. Just to get some value back, and the knights can definitely kill some of these Tridentians now that they don't have 15 health anymore, which was my best shot, and we got to see whether or not it pays off, because Tridentians are so scary. Do some setup. They get fishing just to upgrade that, and they can see our units here, which is not favorable. They get to kill all of those. They even get to walk onto the ruin and the starfish, even though they don't have navigation. Probably didn't want to spend all of their stars on that. They could have sieged, I believe. Could they have? Yeah, definitely. They could have killed and then sieged with one of the defenders, and they don't do that for some reason, which I think is definitely a misplay. And luckily we decided to train our knight in this city over here. This is pivotal play. If we get to kill these units, we might be able to siege one of these cities here, which would allow us to start smashing them into the 5th dimension, if you know what I mean. Okay, so here the plan goes. We smack, we retreat, we do some smart planning with the units so that there's no units that ends up on this tile, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to hit them with the knight. But now we do, and there we go. Zhunk, zing, 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 zing. That play just destroyed like 24 stars with one knight. That's what we call knight chaining, baby. That's how that works. Now we get to try and siege their cities because they don't have enough defense. We even build a bridge so that we can walk over there, and I tried to go with this unit, but that's not how that works, because that's just kind of wrong. Maybe if I planted the road over there. Huh. That would have worked. 1 and then 1.5, 2.5. Oh yeah, that would have been able to siege even. Huh. Oh, the misplays you make when playing live games. Compare those economies. That's impressive. it gets even more stars, which is just an insult at this point. They decided to go with a wall because they just saw what we were doing. But I think that it is going to be too late for them. Because we have made our master plan. They can, sure, they can see this, which we didn't know that they could see this night here. But at least they didn't see this one coming. And we are definitely going to strike now. And they can't see that. We try to train a unit in the other direction than the direction that we are going to come from. So we're just trying to confuse our opponent, because this knight, we don't want it to go over there. That's going to be its death with all of these stupid traditions. But if we can push it over here, these units are very slow on the land. So if we can kill these 3 units here, as well as maybe hit this one, because they didn't leave anything to block the movement, we can maybe siege the city, which allows us to build a road here with a bridge, and then we can smack them as hard as we need to. So that's the plan. Also, how do they not try to attack us with these Tridentian is one big riddle to me. Border growth in that city, sure. So here we go. Once again, we smack, and then zhunk, 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 and we siege with a veteran knight. We even get to hit this one over here, so that they can't unsiege with that. We even get to siege the city and really hurt their advantage in this region, while also blocking their units if they were to have any. I know we could see that they didn't, but at least we would be definitely able to keep this, as long as they didn't pop a crab, which they may have been able to. If they played it smartly, that is. I was also working on a contingency plan. How do you defeat Aquarion on the water? That was one big question that I had. And I was thinking, maybe the defenders in rammers would be able to deal enough damage to just one hit kill, but they would need 2 or 3 Tridentians to kill the defender rammers. But that's just not a great trade, because that's just 8 stars for 8 stars. That just means whoever has the most cities can get the most value. So that doesn't really work. And then you can try to work with rammers and scouts together, but that doesn't work either. So you're just left with the idea of, let's not engage in naval combat, but that is just something you can't afford to do most of the time. And it was just one big mess in my head, and I have no clue how to fight that. Also, here we go with another weird plan, is to go with archers, so that we are able to hit them with the roads and kill these defenders, because they are using them quite effectively to block our movement here. So yeah, that was the plan really. Attack with knights while killing the defenders. Try to get as much value as we can out of them, and then try to lure these units to go over here and you can see that the game is going to end the next turn. And from this position, you might not be able to guess who that winner is. Because I definitely can't tell you who would be winning this game. Points wise, Aquarion is definitely winning. Also, look at how impressive their economy is when compared to ours. And if they get to pick up navigation, they are definitely able to spam a whole bunch of these Tridentions. And Tridentions on the water against a tribe that doesn't really fight that is just a big fat L. Just a big fat L. So, what's going to happen? Well, we are going to try and distract them some more. The crab there, they are not able to unsiege this, as I said before. I don't know. Would they be able to? No. No. Definitely not. They would have needed 2 monuments. And they didn't have those. So, look at this tech tree. That's impressive. Huh. So, yeah, they can't unsiege that. They can't unsiege the other one. And they probably can take this back in a couple of turns if they are smart enough. But, I don't know. Also, look at this army here. How are we going to fight that? We also can't put any units in there because they're just going to die. Oh, they get a border growth, which is not the best choice, I would say. Lovely. That's hilarious. Maybe they scooped because of that. But I think that we played this game quite well, and I think our opponent here was playing very well for an Aquarian player to like get so far in the economy this early is really impressive to me. And you can really say that the buff they received has helped them enormously to get back into the meta a little bit. Of course, they still aren't the best tribe, but what the heck, they can really fight now. So, yeah, I was really getting afraid that we might actually lose this game, but luckily we managed to get a plan going, and we kicked them off the land. So you can really see that there is indeed the option to fight them from the land instead of the water. And that's what I think has really helped me this game. So that is it for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, as it really helped me out against the evil master of algorithm from YouTube. So, I'll see you in the next one. See ya!